Let me ask you a question. If you could describe your ideal day, your absolutely perfect, everything is great and I'm happier than ever sort of day, what would it look like? What time would you wake up? And don't just say early or late. Let's get specific. Is it 5 a.m., 8 a.m., noon? And how would you start your day? Would you enjoy a warm, comforting cup of coffee while reading a book? Would you be up early enough to sit and watch the sunrise? And once you're up and at 'em, what would you spend your time doing? Just hanging out? Maybe taking part in some of your favorite hobbies? Would you spend time with family and friends? Would you invite them out to eat or go for a nice walk in the park? What about at the end of the day? Would you want to relax on the couch and watch your favorite TV show? Or maybe take a bath while you listen to some soothing music? I want you to really have an idea of what that perfect day would look like for you, so please take a moment to think about these questions. Pause the video and write your answers down if you have to. Okay, got it? Do you have a solid picture of what that perfect day would look like? Great, well, that day isn't possible. But even if it was possible, is the day that you described truly perfect? Or let me ask you like this, would you be happy living that day over and over again for the rest of your life? The thing is, we often get caught up in false ideals of what a perfect day or even a perfect life would look like for us. We have everything we want. We do only the things we want. We have no stress, no challenges, no barriers or setbacks. But the harsh truth is we actually need challenges and setbacks to truly be happy. We need to not have everything handed to us to truly be fulfilled. The 1960 episode of The Twilight Zone titled A Nice Place to Visit does an excellent job of portraying this idea. I know, it's old, but I used to watch this a lot as a kid and it's really good, so bear with me. The episode revolves around a criminal named Rocky Valentine who dies and finds himself in a lavish building where he immediately gets anything he could desire. Money, women, luxurious items, all without ever having to work for any of them. Naturally, in the beginning, Mr. Valentine thinks he's in heaven. I mean, who wouldn't? He's getting anything and everything he could possibly want. But eventually, he starts to notice some downsides. He realizes that getting these things without any challenges or risks takes away from their meaning. In a sort of paradox, he begins to grow bored and even miserable because he's getting everything he could ever want. He even goes as far as to say that one more day living like that may literally drive him insane. Finally, he grows so tired of this that he begs his guide, who's been with him all along, to let him leave, crying out, "I don't belong in heaven, I want to go to the other place." The guide simply chuckles and responds like this.
Whatever gave you the idea you were in heaven, Mr. Valentine? This is the other place!
In a twisted turn of events, it turned out that having everything handed to him with literally no effort on his part wasn't actually heaven. It was in fact a literal living hell. But this idea isn't just some story from an old TV show. Since it was originally aired, there has been research that backs this very thing up. In the year 2000, Richard M. Ryan and Edward L. Deci, both psychologists and professors at the University of Rochester, published a paper in which they detailed a framework on human motivation and well-being. They called it self-determination theory, or SDT for short. SDT suggests that there are three basic psychological needs that must be met for people to be most fulfilled. Autonomy, the need to feel in control of one's actions and choices. Competence, the need to feel effective and capable in overcoming challenges. And relatedness, the need to connect with and be valued by others. In our case, we're primarily concerned with the second need, competence. You see, people have an internal desire to feel competent. We want to feel like we have the capabilities to achieve things. Although we may not always realize it, we want to experience challenges so that we can experience the satisfaction of overcoming them. It just makes life feel more meaningful. It makes us feel like we're in control. Or to just quote the paper itself, SDT postulates that all human beings have a fundamental psychological need for competence, the satisfaction of which is essential for ongoing psychological growth, integrity, and well-being. So, knowing all of this, let's go back to the idea of the perfect day that you came up with. Would you make any changes? Maybe add some difficult tasks or challenges? These things don't have to be anything major or extraordinarily difficult, they just need to be things that push you and challenge you. Things that serve as bits of proof that you are a competent human being and you can accomplish things that require effort. These are what I like to call perfect activities. They're activities that push you outside of your comfort zone, that are challenging enough to cause some frustration, but not so challenging that they become impossible. Things like exercising. If you've never felt challenged while exercising, you're not exercising hard enough. Lifting weights, hiking, and even mountain biking can all be super challenging if you put in the effort. Learning new skills. Learning new things can be hard as hell. Things like learning an instrument, learning to cook, or even learning a new language. These things always tend to start slow, but if you stick to them long enough, you will be surprised how good you can actually get at any of them. Or even taking on creative tasks. Anybody that's actually dedicated time to creative endeavors knows how difficult these can be, but they also know how rewarding they can be. Drawing, photography, writing, these things can all get super frustrating, especially if you have an idea what you want your end product to look like and you just can't get it. But again, given enough time and effort, it's 100% doable. Now, I'm sorry to say, but even with these perfect activities, achieving a quote-unquote perfect day is still impossible. You just can't account for every possible thing that could happen. But adding these things into your day can maybe help you get as close as possible to whatever your definition of perfection is currently. Because this definition can change, and frankly, having one single idea or one single structure of what a perfect day is feels a bit limiting. Kind of like you're trapping yourself in a box full of temporary ideals that can easily change from one day to the next. For me, a perfect day would be very difficult to quantify for that very reason. I enjoy change. I enjoy doing new things. I would hate to restrict myself to a single idea of what a perfect day would look like. But I do know one thing. There is one perfect activity that I would like to include daily, no matter what the day looked like, and that's writing. The format wouldn't even matter. Writing video scripts, poems, short stories, a whole book, shit, even just journaling maybe. As long as I could put some words on a page, I think I'd be okay. But what about you? What perfect activities would you include in your day? Let me know in the comments. But with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy this one as well, because it's pretty good if I do say so myself. But for now, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.